It was Christmas Eve, and snow had blanketed the small New Hampshire town where I lived alone. My old Victorian house stood at the edge of the woods, its wooden beams groaning with age. I always found Christmas lonely, but I had grown used to it after my divorce 3 years ago. I focused on simple traditions: hot cocoa, a warm fire, and a few holiday movies. It kept the solitude at bay. That evening, I settled into my worn armchair, wrapped in a thick blanket, and watched the snow fall outside. The storm was picking up, wind howling through the trees like distant whispers. My phone buzzed with a text from my neighbor, Rick, reminding me of the winter storm warning. "Stay safe," he wrote. Rick lived half a mile down the road, the closest person around. I responded with a quick "thanks you too" and put my phone away. The wind howled louder, rattling the windows. I checked the old locks on the front and back doors, ensuring they were secure. After a moment's hesitation, I locked the deadbolt on the basement door too, force of habit. That basement always made me uneasy, though I couldn't explain why. And I spent the next hour reading a worn mystery novel, the sound of the fire crackling nearby. Time slipped by until a sudden thump echoed from the basement below. It wasn't loud, but distinct, like something falling. I froze, heart pounding. Maybe an old box had tipped over. The basement was cluttered with forgotten junk from before the divorce. Ignoring the unease creeping over me, I told myself it was nothing. But then came another noise, something dragging slowly across the basement floor. It wasn't the sound of shifting boxes. It was heavier, deliberate. So I grabbed the flashlight from the kitchen drawer, convinced a raccoon or some animal had gotten in through a broken window down there. The thought brought a strange sort of comfort, something explainable. Still, I hesitated at the basement door, hand resting on the cold brass handle. With a deep breath, I unlocked it and swung the door open. The familiar scent of damp wood hit me as I peered down the steep stairs. My flashlight beam wavered over old crates, forgotten furniture, and dusty shelves. Everything seemed still, quiet, too quiet. And I forced myself down the steps, my slippers silent on the worn wood. The air grew colder with each step. At the base of the stairs, something metallic gleamed, a rusted crowbar lying on the ground, though I couldn't remember ever owning one. The dragging sound came again, deeper in the shadows beyond the shtalif of my flashlight. My breath hitched. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but I forced myself forward. The beam caught movement, a shape shifting in the dark near the far wall. Then I saw it. A section of the basement wall that shouldn't have been there, a makeshift plywood partition, roughly nailed together. My pulse roared in my ears as I approached, noticing deep scratch marks in the wood around its edges. Something had been trying to get out or keep someone in. With trembling hands, I tugged at the edge of the plywood. It wrenched free with a sickening crack. So my flashlight flickered over a narrow, hidden space in a bed. Old, stained blankets. A worn, filthy mattress. Empty food cans scattered across the floor. And then, my flashlight landed on something that made me stumble back, a stack of Polaroid photos pinned to the wall. They were all of me, taken from outside the house, through windows. Some recent, judging by the clothes I was wearing in them. Behind me, the basement door slammed shut. The flashlight fell from my hand, rolling on the floor, its beam fading. And then, in the dark, I heard a voice I knew too well. "Rick told you to stay safe."